back to Insomnia Art. Subject for the day: Team Riri or Team Doom? Who will be your new Iron Man? This is a very new storyline written by Brian Michael Bendis, and it's the question that he's forcing us to answer. Are you Team Riri Williams? Or are you going to go with Victor Von Doom? Give it to Brian Michael Bendis to shake things up in the Marvel Universe. Is really his modus operandi at this point. I guess something happens to Tony Stark, and there's a need for a new Iron Man. So we have on one side, who I'm drawing now, who is Victor Von Doom, Doctor Doom of Fantastic Four fame. Seems to have had a change of heart and wants to be a hero now. I really did this picture because I really wanted to do the designs. I like them, and I wanted to kind of do them in my own style. And I wanted to kind of play with the approach the original designer artist is going. I wanted to see what I could do and see how I can draw it. So I wanted to give it the old college try. This dude has a Iron Man in a cloak, which kind of mentally try to figure out how that will work, given that most of his propulsion engines come from his back and in the back of his legs. So, he's going to be burning through his cloak every time he flies. Does this Iron Man fly? We don't know. We just kind of have these early design ideals. So now I have the basic design down. The suit of armor, I've noticed someone mentioned, kind of reminds of the Superior Iron Man, that silver glossy kind of armor, but this one, the color of it's really toned down, almost an iron color, which is kind of cool that Doom is going to be the Iron Man in his, so to speak, to play on the phrase. So here I'm just basically doing my gray inking, which I've come to love and helps me be a bit more liberal, less liberal with my inks, and kind of let it be a bit more free form. I lean in the design with my inked shadows, with the idea of Doom being the Iron Man. Marvel's really big on villain redemption. A lot of their hero roster started out as villains. Scarlet Witch, Hawkeye, Vision. A lot of the X-Men who are heroes now. I wonder if is Magneto still a hero? Marvel and I haven't been following X-Men recently, so I think Magneto's still a hero. So, but this villain is kind of up there. Doctor Doom, he's going to have his own agenda, and I have a feeling he's not going to be this good guy for long. It's Doctor Doom, It's like Lex Luthor, Doctor Doom, Dark Side. These are guys who are just not going to be good ever. So now I'm switching gears to Riri Williams, the newest person to take on the Iron Man mantle. African American MIT student, extremely brilliant, decided to take the challenge to build her own Iron Man armor in her college dorm. If Tony can build one in a cave, she figured she could build one in her college dorm. This character is already extremely polarizing, as it would be because she's an African American female who is Iron Man. I don't know how that's going to work out, but Brian always figures this stuff out. He always likes to interject some color into his characters, which is beautiful to me. My only gripe is I wish she was her own character, didn't have to be under the Iron Man moniker, but that may change. War Machine started as Iron Man and then became his own thing. You could say, I'm trying to think of another character where that actually works, where they start out as a kind of not knockoff, but a lineage character and become their own thing. I'm sure some others will come to mind. Her costume, her Iron Man armor is kind of basic, so I wanted to, and it's kind of very utilitarian. So I really wanted to make it a bit more feminine, give it a little bit more curve, make her chest plate resemble a bosom. Just because it looked very straight down. But she is 15 years old, so you don't want to feminize it too much and make it objectable. So that's the funky balance you kind of work with yourself, especially when you kind of take into mind how old the actual art piece is, and think about who they're based off of, which is, I think, Sakai Jackson's, who the artist kind of was looking at when they designed this character. And they give her a big, giant, poofy fro, which I think is beautiful. I love drawing giant, poofy fros. Kind of like I do mine's Boondock style, where it's just the black mass and just craziness. It looks good. So here I'm drawing her face, kind of getting those African American features, big beautiful eyes, big beautiful lips, nose, get all that right. So now I'm just doing some coloring, laying down my colors, and now I'm working on this background. This background killed me. I just couldn't figure out what I wanted to do. So, and I said, forget the background. I'll worry about that later. Let me get into my general shading. So I went to my shading, started shading a bit more, got her face down, and working on my shading for the characters, which I'm getting better at, but it's something that it's still a work in progress. So now I'm laying down her Iron Man colors. Now, seeing it in color, it looks a lot better. Working on my Doom now, working on his colors, trying to get him looking good, looking semi, not too shiny, but kind of a little worn out, worn down. I don't know why Doom, being the Latverian king, his armors have always looked a bit shoddy. But I am reaching the end of my pick. I'm laying out some final things. So I wanted to get the height. The height was super important to me. I wanted her to be 15 years old, so she's shorter than Doom. And there you have it. I hope you liked this picture. This is Michael at Naval Cosmos signing off. I need to get some sleep. Have yourself a good rest of your day. Take care.